Hi everyone, my name is Nicole Boggs. I'm a friend of Elaine's. We met several years ago when she was traveling with Life Action. She has become a dear friend of ours, and I'm super excited that all of you are joining her tonight. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of my story with you. I've been married almost 20 years to Keith. We run a ministry called Real Momentum. We have 9 children, 7 girls and 2 boys. We homeschool them, and so I have been a stay-at-home mom, homeschooling mom, for a long time. You know, way back whenever our first 4 children were little girls, I had 4 girls, 5 years old and younger. And you know what? I had always been interested in health and fitness, even dating back to my high school years. But the reason for that was, the motive behind that wasn't as pure as I feel like it is today. It was more about how could I make my body look, how could I perform, etc. Um, but when I was in the midst of babies, lots of little babies and toddlers, and they were sick a lot with ear infections and stomach bugs, and we were missing a lot of church. I remember crying out to the Lord, like, is this the way it's supposed to be? Because we knew we were going to have a big family potentially. And I just didn't want to be taking care of sick children all the time. And God is so good. When we cry out for wisdom, He will grant it to us if we seek for it. And so different things came across my path, and we started making changes. And this was almost 12 years ago. And so we started just bringing in a lot of whole foods into our house. And I really went off the deep end a little bit, became a food Nazi. And so, I was driving my family crazy, and I feel like I have a much more healthy balance now. We can enjoy things in moderation. But it was about, I don't know, 3.5 years ago. We were traveling a lot. It was just getting a little bit harder to control what everybody was eating, and their health has always been important to me: physical health, spiritual health, emotional health. But I knew if they didn't have their physical health, it was going to be very difficult for the other two things. And it was going to be really difficult for our family to be able to travel and minister if people were sick all the time. And so it is said that 75% of all illness and disease can be prevented through proper nutrition and healthy living. And that's a pretty high percentage. And so there's a great responsibility. And I already knew that. But hearing that said from several different doctors just really drove home what I feel like the Word of God already teaches, that God does give us food for our health and our healing, certain foods. And so we have to figure out what that is. And the Bible really is a good guidebook for our physical being, not only our spiritual being. So one of the principles that we live by is to eat food as close as to the way that God created it. So when Juice Plus came across my path, at first, do you know that even with all the knowledge that I had at first, I was like, how is fruits and vegetables and berries going to help us? And it was just so ridiculous. I had really even started wrapping my mind around, man-made multivitamins, fragmented vitamins was the answer. When really all of those thousands of phytonutrients and minerals that are in food are what the answer is. We are not vitamin deficient, we're whole food deficient. The vitamins are in our food. And so our bodies are made to know what to do with that. And it responds really well to that. So it took me a while. It actually took me 2 years of research, of study, of praying, of figuring out how we were going to make it work in our budget. And 2 years in, we bit the bullet, and we made some sacrifices in our budget, which was already really tight. But it was important to me. There are some things that are important in life that you have to make sacrifices for. And the physical foundation for my children was extremely important. So we made those sacrifices. We added Juice Plus into our diet, and 18 months later, it has been a fantastic way to take what we do eat and what we should eat and bridge that gap and have that insurance every day that my children are getting fruits, vegetables, and berries, up to 30 different non-GMO, herbicide, pesticide free, vine ripened nutrition every single day, no matter our circumstances, is highly important to me. So I hope tonight that you learned some really neat stuff, that you're challenged, you're encouraged, And I promise you, if you make a decision to add Juice Plus into your diet, it really is the next best thing to raw fruits and vegetables. And you will be extremely thankful, and it will make a difference in your family and in the lives of those that you love.